I think this quarter has been pretty good for the auto pack. There has been sort of margin expansion and all. I would say that some of the momentum had actually. So I think there are three variables that were relevant. One was that there was a volume expansion that was happening. There's a pent-up demand, etc., that was there, and there is a leverage spending that was happening. Secondly, I would say there was a lot of premiumization that is happening across multiple segments. And then finally, we had seen in this quarter there's a significant margin expansion. So I think we have been constructive on the fairly optimistic on or overweight on the auto space. I would say that Eicher Motor is something that I would still bet on. I would say commercial vehicles might actually start peaking out. So we still have Ashok Leyland and all there, but I would say it might start picking out in terms of momentum. I would say Hero Motors is more aligned to rural and all. It has not done well. It's kind of value stock. One can look at that at this juncture.
That's a take coming in. That might be a bit of a peaking that might happen in the CV space. But time now to get the BTST idea from Naresh as well. Naresh, what's catching your attention?
So first is the BTST on ICICI Bank, stop loss at 860 and a target price of 885. Second is a buy on Mahindra and Mahindra Financial, which has seen a correction from 275 to 258, seen a good recovery. The strongest financial name as of now, stop loss at 258 and a target price of 270.
On ICICI Bank, and same has been the case with the other technical experts. But talk to us about some of the other large cap movers today. Reliance, ITC as well as UPL. Is there a strength that's visible on these counters, or is it just a one-day move? Naresh, the question is for you.
So, say in terms of Reliance Industries, that is something which I was recommending for the last few sessions. Clearly a strength, clearly it has crossed the last few days highs and is indicating a move towards 2500 in the short term. For the last almost 2 weeks, it was in a very tight range between 2300 to 2375. And today that has been taken out. So I would expect a move towards 2500. ITC, post that announcement, the buzz that there will not be a SUTI stake sale, the stock has taken a fresh move. The trend remains up, but the stock has done really well over the last 1 year. So at 380 to 420 is a zone to be actually looking to reduce exposure rather than buying fresh. So the risk reward is no more great. So out here, again, whenever it dips back, that is the time to look at it. But at 400, 420, I would expect it to top out in the near term. So I would be looking at as a profit booking zone rather than buying.
Fertilizer stocks, although they've already run up, Vinay, make for a good trade?
Today, because of the news, some stocks have moved up, but overall trend has not been that convincing. So RCF is one of the stock one can look at it, but not that much confidence is there. The previous bottom at 104 and today's low is around 105. So with that stop loss, one can look at RCF because relatively it is placed better than it is clear. It's still trading above its 200 days moving average, and many mid caps are falling, but this stock is still holding above its 200 days average. So RCF can be looked at, but then its setup is not that convincing. Rather than that, I would like to go for the NBFC companies like Poonawalla Fincorp, which I like. So Poonawalla Fincorp has actually given a breakout from last 7 weeks consolidation, and volumes are quite convincing. So it is a clear-cut buy setup on the chart. So one can look at buying Poonawalla Fincorp at around 312 odd levels, and 304 should be the stop loss, and upside target can be 325. So one can take even BTST calls, and positional traders can also buy with a stop loss of 304.
Okay, point taken. If you look at the YTD performance, and it's just been 1.5 months to this year, but nonetheless, you have Oil India, which is up 25%. CG Power has seen quite a bit of up move as well on a YTD basis. Persistent Systems, Zensar Tech, KPIT Tech, some of these niche mid-cap IT companies have seen a solid run of around 20-25%. And then, of course, there is Paytm as well as Zomato that features on that list on account of the big cuts that we have seen and a bit of a recovery which is visible. Interestingly, ITC is up 16% this year, and this comes after the solid run of what, around 50% that we had seen last year, if I have it right. So a solid surge coming in as far as some of these names are concerned. On the losing side, today we have names of Adani Group of companies that continue to reel under pressure. You have IB, India Bulls Real Estate, which is down about 8%, and Policy Bazaar as well as Star Health have taken a sharp knock today, and even GIC for that matter. Dhananjay, your take as far as this entire insurance space is concerned? There was that deep correction that we saw post the budget announcement. Do you expect that downtrend to continue, or is there a case to be made to look at these companies now?
So I think the insurance space has actually been an underperformer for the last 1.5 years, and I think following the budget announcement, also there has been a correction. I would say that the valuations of the top-notch companies such as HDFC Life and SBI Life, etc., have become very, very lucrative. I would say that it may still, lag in terms of outperformance, but I would say that from a longer-term standpoint, these counters, these companies look good.
All right. Meantime, Dhananjay, if you were to pick one or a few top bets within the entire mid-cap FMCG stocks, what would stand out?
So the thing is, we are positive on the FMCG space. I would say, something like something. So we have all the large cap names. Actually, Britannia is there. I would say Marico can be looked at, and Imami, for instance, Imami has been a underperformer, and it's actually value as well. So I think one can look at Imami at this juncture in the FMCG pack.
Wind down the markets for you then, and by the time we're wrapping up the day for trade, it is a commendable close, at least for the frontliners, as we're ending at the highest point of the trading day, thereabouts. 150 points being added, and you've got 61,000 on the Sensex. Not quite that much further within the broader markets. You can give credit to metals, PSU banks, FMCG, IT, and of course the Nifty Bank Index, which wraps up the day at the day's highest point. Real estate, auto, though, have been absolutely lackluster in today's trading session. Taking you through the winners then, UPL stands out with a solid 3.5% gain, ITC in the spotlight. Reliance Industries gains about 2.5% at 23.79. There's Adani Ports, Adani Enterprises, post numbers, Bajaj Finance, Axis Bank, Hindalco, and HCL Technologies among the large caps. Apollo Hospital, Eicher Motors, NTPC, Coal India, Ultratech Cement, those are some of the stocks or counters that really sit it out. Taking you through the newsmakers then in today's trading session, you had Bharat Forge that came out with its numbers. The profits were down about 14%, something like an Eicher Motors where the margins disappointed. Adani Enterprises, margins have expanded and the stocks spiked up post their numbers. ITC has been flagged off. The government says they're not going to sell stake, according to the DIPAM secretary. All cargo logistics battered and bruised out of shape. The earnings came in below street estimates. The management says there's an uptick in trade since February. Nykaa posted its numbers, getting a thumbs up from most of the brokerages across the board. Then you've got something like Landmark Cars on numbers, Forgings, all-time high quarterly performance. SpiceJet, the Supreme Court asking the aviation counter to pay 270 crores to its former owner in the legal spat. And then, of course, the fertilizer stocks, all up to their winning ways, as sources indicate that they've asked the government to allow hiking of MRP for NPK fertilizers. You've got a lot of stocks within the broader markets as well that are in the spotlight in today's trading session. Apart from fertilizers, Finolex Cables, Nilkamal, Oil India, Suprajit Engineering, Ircon International, something like an Dishman Carbogen, they're all abuzz in today's trade. While on the flip side, Spark falls flat on its face. IBREL is in the red. Ashoka Buildcon, Schneider Electric, and even names like Adani Total Gas, Green, and Transmission lose out. Along with that, a GIC, as well as Suntech and Naveen Fluorine. Those are some of the other losers then in today's trading session. That's about all the time we have then on this edition of Closing Trades from the team that put the show together. Thanks for watching.